Imagine the moment the last faint blue glow from the midnight zone finally fades behind you. You are no longer simply descending through water. You are sinking into something far heavier, something that presses against your chest, your ribs, your very thoughts, as if the ocean itself has decided that you do not belong here and is slowly reminding you of that fact with every passing meter. 6,000 meters, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. The pressure is no longer a number on a gauge. It is a living, crushing force. 1,100 atmospheres trying to fold your body, your mind, and your very existence into absolute nothing. The temperature has locked at barely above freezing and will never warm again for the rest of time. There is almost no food, only the rarest, most shredded fragments of death that have fallen for miles through the crushing dark above. This is the Hadal Zone, the deepest, darkest, most forbidden trenches on Earth. Places we named after Hades, the ancient god of the underworld, because even the Greeks understood that some realms should remain untouched. A realm so extreme that the nightmares we encountered in the Midnight Zone would be crushed into oblivion without leaving a single trace. And yet, something lives here. Something that should not exist. Something that makes you question whether the ocean is truly a place of life or a place that tests life until it breaks and then dares whatever remains to become something entirely new. We descend now, not as proud explorers, not as scientists with answers. We descend as intruders into the ocean's most carefully guarded secret chambers. And with every meter we sink, a quiet voice in the back of your mind grows louder. How does anything survive when the planet itself is trying to erase it? What kind of mind evolves in a place where hope itself should be crushed? And most unsettling of all, what is the ocean still hiding from us down here? At the upper threshold of the Hadal realm, just past 6,000 meters, the water already feels wrong. The pressure is 600 times greater than at the surface. A human body would be compressed into something unrecognizable in seconds. Steel hulls of submarines would buckle and fold like wet paper under the invisible hand of the deep. Yet the Hadal snailfish glides through this crushing darkness with an almost peaceful grace. Its body is pale, ghostly, almost translucent, so delicate it looks like it would tear apart in ordinary shallow water. Its bones are paper thin, its flesh is soft as jelly. It has no swim bladder, nothing that could collapse and kill it instantly. Instead, its cells are specially reinforced with unique chemical compounds that act like microscopic armor against the crushing force. Watch it now, hovering almost motionless in the black, its large eyes catching the faint glow of its own weak bioluminescence. It looks fragile. It looks impossible. But every time scientists carefully retrieve a new specimen in specially designed pressurized chambers, the same haunting question returns. How did something so delicate become the deepest living vertebrate on Earth? What unimaginable price did it pay to survive here? What parts of itself did it have to surrender so completely that it can now exist where nothing else can? And most psychologically unsettling, if this fragile creature can adapt to such crushing pressure, what else has the Hadal Zone quietly reshaped that we have not yet seen? Deeper now, 7,000 meters. The cold is absolute and eternal. Food is almost non-existent, only the rarest fragments of dead things that have fallen for miles through the crushing dark above, a slow, eternal snowfall of death and decay. So life here learned the ultimate, terrifying patience. The supergiant amphipod, a creature the size of your hand that looks like a prehistoric shrimp grown into something monstrous, can survive for years without eating a single meal. When something finally drifts past in the darkness, it strikes with a speed and ferocity that seems impossible for something that spends most of its existence drifting in near starvation. Its gut can stretch to many times its own body size, swallowing prey that should be far too large. Then it returns to perfect stillness, waiting. Years, if necessary. Its long antennae sweep the dense water for the faintest chemical trace of falling food across kilometers of crushing darkness. Scientists still don't fully understand how it detects these signals in an environment where sound and light behave so strangely. This raises a larger, more psychologically disturbing question that lingers in the mind long after the lights are off. In a place where a single meal might arrive once in a decade, what kind of mind evolves? Is it still simple hunger, or has it become something closer to obsession? A patient, calculating intelligence shaped by eternal scarcity. Something that waits not with hope, but with the cold certainty that something will eventually fall. 8,000 meters. The pressure is now so extreme that the water itself behaves differently. Thicker, heavier, almost like liquid stone pressing against every surface. Here, we encounter the Hadal xenophyophores, single-celled organisms the size of dinner plates that build intricate, delicate houses out of the scattered bones, shells, and debris of long-dead animals that have fallen from the world above. They are not animals. They are not plants. They are something far older, something that has learned to turn the graveyard of the ocean into a living fortress. When the pressure should flatten them into nothing, they simply grow around it, weaving the remains of the dead into complex, almost architectural structures that somehow withstand forces that would pulverize steel and diamond. Some of these structures glow with a faint, eerie light that no expedition has been able to fully explain. Is it a form of communication between creatures that will never physically meet in the vast emptiness? Is it a trap designed to lure even smaller organisms? Or is it something we have no word for yet, a language written in light by beings that have existed in darkness for millions of years? What we've discovered only deepens the psychological unease. How do these fragile, almost artistic constructions survive pressures that should turn them to paste? And why do they seem to thrive in the one place on Earth where life should be mathematically impossible? The more we look, the more it feels like the Hadal Zone is not just a harsh environment. It is actively testing life, breaking it, and then forcing whatever remains to become something new and strange. 9,000 meters, the true Hadal trenches, the Mariana Trench, the Tonga Trench, the Kermadec. Here, the ocean floor drops away like the edge of existence itself. The darkness is so complete that even bioluminescence feels like an act of rebellion against the void. Yet the creatures here are not merely surviving, they are thriving in ways that feel almost defiant, even mocking of the crushing forces around them. Hadal amphipods have evolved the remarkable ability to consume plastic, the very waste we humans throw into the sea that eventually sinks to the deepest places on Earth. They turn our pollution into energy, a living, moving reminder that the ocean is quietly cleaning up our mistakes in the one place we will never see and never reach. It forces you to confront an uncomfortable truth. Even in the most forbidden depths, our impact has already arrived. And then there are the Hadal jellyfish, delicate, almost invisible bells that drift through the trenches like ghosts of the deep. Their long tentacles trail for meters, pulsing with cold blue light that scientists still cannot fully decode. Some researchers believe this light is a form of communication between creatures that will never physically meet in the vast emptiness. Others suspect it is simply the most beautiful and deadly trap ever evolved, a hypnotic lure in the most hostile environment imaginable. The psychological weight of these discoveries is heavy. Every glowing pulse feels like a message we cannot read. Every delicate structure feels like a quiet defiance against the crushing dark. And every new species forces us to ask how many more are still hidden down here, waiting in silence for us to finally reach. 10,000 meters, 11,000 meters, the bottom of the known ocean. Here, the pressure reaches 1,100 atmospheres, a force so immense that a human body would be compressed into something smaller than a coin in an instant. Yet the snailfish still swims with eerie grace. The amphipods still hunt with patient ferocity. The xenophyophores still build their fragile castles from the bones of the dead. Each one started as something almost ordinary, a fish, a shrimp, a single cell. The Hadal Zone took them apart piece by piece, molecule by molecule, and rebuilt them into something that feels almost forbidden. Bodies without rigid bones, metabolisms that run on almost nothing, skins and cells that laugh at pressures that should turn them to paste. We have barely touched this realm. Our deepest submersibles and ROVs have visited only scattered points in a handful of trenches. Robots have imaged more of the surface of Mars than of the Hadal trenches beneath our own seas. Recent expeditions in 2024 and 2025 brought back footage that still feels impossible even after repeated viewings. Snailfish swimming casually at depths where the pressure should have killed them instantly. Supergiant amphipods the size of dinner plates moving with surprising speed. Microbes that thrive on chemicals we once thought would destroy all life. Each new discovery only proves how little we truly understand about the limits of life itself. Scientists still don't know how these creatures' cells resist being crushed into non-existence. They don't know what sounds can travel through waters so dense it bends light and distorts time. They don't even know if the deepest trenches are truly the end, or if something even stranger waits in the cracks and fissures below the known floor. The Hadal Zone does not destroy ordinary life. It does not merely challenge it, it breaks it completely, and then dares whatever remains to become something entirely new. Stand at any beach tomorrow morning. Look out at the calm, peaceful surface of the ocean. Beneath that mirror lies a hidden world so extreme we named it after the god of the underworld, Hadal. We are not the masters of this planet. We are barely visitors who've only just begun to knock on the door of the deepest, most guarded rooms. And right now, somewhere 11 kilometers down, in crushing darkness, where pressure is the weight of 1,000 skyscrapers stacked on every square inch, something with glowing red eyes and a body built like a living shadow drifts slowly through the black, patient as Earth's stone, waiting for the next impossible meal or visitor who dares descend this far. What else is down there? What nightmares or wonders are hidden in trenches we've barely touched? What kind of mind evolves when every moment is a battle against the planet's crushing weight? The ocean doesn't answer. It continues, vast, silent, crushing, keeping its secrets, until the next dive, if there ever is one. The Hadal Zone is Earth's last truly unexplored frontier, and we've only just begun to knock.